Well, I'm here with Dustin Huff from Indiana, and well, Dustin, I don't know that there's a whole lot else you can say about this deer.
Not much, just awe.
Well, this deer that Dustin took this past year is officially the largest whitetail net typical ever taken in the United States, and barely misses overtaking a Milo Hansen buck from 1994 by an inch or so.
Yep.
I mean, it is, what's the final net score?
211 and 4/8.
Net, folks.
Yep.
And so the deductions were what?
3.5.
So you look at this deer, you whitetail enthusiasts and experts out there, you look at this deer, you see immediately two things just blew me away. The symmetry.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's unbelievable.
How perfect he is.
How perfect he is.
Yep.
And the mass. It's mind-boggling, the mass on this deer. And one thing, Dustin, that I noticed about this deer is if the scoring system was by water displacement, where you took the rag and put it in water,
Donkey.
he would be the world record.
Yep, that's what people were saying.
Because the mass on these tines that you don't get any credit for in the scoring system is unreal. How much mass does this deer have?
Close to 50. He's about 49 inches of mass.
Okay, so let's do the math. You get 8 circumference measurements on a whitetail, so you're looking at, wow, you're looking at almost 7 inches per,
Yep.
I mean, we're talking about way out here.
Yep.
It's crazy.
Yep. 6 and 6/8 all the way out to here.
You know what's so surreal now that I've kind of had a up close and personal interaction with the Milo Hansen buck. When Milo shot his deer back in '94, you may have seen it on one of the early Monster Buck
Yep.
videos. Realtree had the rights to his deer, and I went up and videoed the official scoring ceremony in Bigger, Saskatchewan. Spent the weekend with Milo and his wife, and I sat there and watched them mount his deer that night after they scored him officially, and I held that deer in my hands, just the skull plate. So I appreciate what a world record is like, but this deer in so many ways is just as, if not more impressive, because of just the sheer mass. It's unbelievable. So,
Yeah.
all right, I'm gonna ask you some questions, because our interview is about numbers. We're gonna crunch some numbers.
Okay.
Beam length.
28 and 27 was, yep, right around with some change, yep.
Folks, you go kill a whitetail with a 25-inch beam, he's world class in my mind. 28 and 27, okay,
Yep.
right out of the water, he's a whole different animal.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yep.
so he's a mainframe 12, 6x6.
Yep.
And the only other deduction is this little kicker.
That little kicker right there is the reason why we would have been really close to Milo if that
This
would
right
have been
here.
knocked off. Yep.
And you said, looking at previous pictures that people brought to you, because you had no idea this deer existed where you hunted.
Yep.
Previous video and pictures from years prior to this, he had this
Same kicker.
same kicker.
Same kicker. Guy found the sheds, has the exact same kicker from the year before, him as an 11 pointer. And yeah, it never grew, it just stayed the exact same the whole time.
All right, so 28 beam, 27 beam and change, almost 50 inches of mass. Your G3s are, what'd you say they were?
13 inches.
So the night you started scoring him,
Yeah.
did you think you had a faulty calculator?
Oh yeah, I had no idea. I'm like, I don't know if this guy's measuring it right, you know. It was just one of my buddies, and I'm like, are you sure, man? He goes, I'm pretty positive, you know, I'm doing it like they taught me how to, you know. And yeah, we were looking at the calculator like,
Wait a minute.
wait a second. Yep.
We added an extra measurement somewhere
Yeah.
that we're not supposed to have.
Yep.
And then you check it again and it's right there.
Yep.
Wow, that's incredible. Inside spread.
21 and 4/8 was his
21
inside.
and 4/8.
Yep, was his inside spread.
So to give you a perspective watching this, folks, I asked him this morning, I said, okay, what I want to know is, what the deer weigh live weight?
300 pounds. He was 300 on hoof.
Right at 300 pounds. So you look at a 300-pound animal, and these antlers still look enormous. That says something.
Yeah. Yep. I mean, his body, whenever we first got up to him, I was like, his body looked small compared to, even though he was a 300-pound animal, we were still like, man, we were kind of like, is he 300? You know, we couldn't really tell just because of his antlers, and we were like, man, you know.
I think last night you told us that North American whitetail guys figured up what the odds were for you to take a deer like this. And what did the odds come out to?
Hypothetically, 1 in 321 million of a chance to kill a deer this big and this typical.
1 in 321 million. Go buy you a lottery ticket, Dustin Huff.
Yep.
What I'm talking about.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, buy me one too.
Yep.
But so, like I said, largest net typical whitetail ever taken in the United States ever. A lot of people never thought the James Jordan buck would ever be eclipsed. Blew him out of the water.
Yep.
The Mel Johnson deer, which was the archery
Yep.
net typical record,
Yep.
beat that by 7 inches.
7, yep.
7 inches. It's just incredible to think about how big this deer is, and we'll close on this. First of all, amazing deer. You're an amazing guy.
Thank you.
Gotten to know Dustin, just incredible talent, not just as a deer hunter, but as a songwriter and singer. But one thing I asked him, I said, Dustin, can you imagine how many people over the years caught a glimpse of this deer, missed this deer,
Yep.
couldn't even get a shot at the deer because they were so tore up? You think about that?
Oh yeah, or how many cars had seen this deer, passed him, or almost hit him. That's what
Slammed on brakes.
Slammed on brakes. Yep, I've been hearing stories of they almost hit this deer, and I mean, it's crazy.
Had no idea the deer was anywhere around. They come to find out later, they found his sheds how far away?
8.5 miles away.
From the year before or 2 years before?
From the year before, yep,
Wow.
and he was an 11, and then 2 years as a 3.5-year-old, he was a typical 10. Yep.
5.5-year-old buck, and he's a genetic freak.
Yep.
He literally is a mutant.
He's a cartoon, is what he.
He's a cartoon.
Cartoon, yep.
He's a cartoon. The Dustin Huff buck, incredible. Not just a deer of a lifetime, a deer of that'll go down in history. Thank you so much for sharing this
Yep,
with us.
I appreciate it,
Yeah,
David.
Awesome.
Thank you.
you.